The Asia Cup final featured 7 players from these two clubs. It has just been won by Japan, and fittingly, the Tottenham loanee, Maika Hamano, got the goal, teed up by Yui Hasegawa of Manchester City. Almost the entire final lineup was WSL, 18 out of the 22 starters. That tells you plenty about how many Australians and Japanese we have in this league. So across the back for Manchester City, as ever, we have Jade Rose and Rebecca Knack, and Alex Greenwood, who's seen it all at left back. We'd expect City to boss possession for sure. It does look like Nilden playing at centre-half. That's our first question answered. Amanda Nilden in there with Molly Bartrip, who had a tough game last time out. Neatly done there by Sam Coffey. And here is Hemp. You don't want to have to be shuffling things around in defence, do you, Ari, when you're playing an attack as dangerous as this?
Absolutely, but I mean, they were forced to. You mentioned that they're lacking players because of the Asian Cup, and so they had to rebuild something. It's a really tough challenge, but it really helps. Drew Spence coming back in, and she's actually playing on the 6th position, so Olivia Holt is going to the right-hand side. She's also more a central player, but I think Drew Spence is crucial in this match, holding it tight in front of the back line, who are not used to play together like that.
Kasperite, who has barely missed a minute this season, getting the ball forward, and Bunny Shaw's interested already here. Here is Nilden, who missed out last weekend through suspension rather than injury. But very much a left-back, having to play at centre-back today. Scooped in towards Shaw, what a clever ball. And still City pressure. Job done.
Yeah, it took a while for Spurs. They got the numbers there, they're in the positions, but they're not actively in the 1v1 situations yet. For me, until now, they've been too passive, and they had to get much better into this game and destroy City way earlier.
Julie Blackstad here with the throw, left back today for Spurs. 3 seasons a Manchester City player, not all that long ago.
Yeah, also challenging for her. She's more of a midfielder, but then playing as a fullback, that could actually mean she can be offensive playing as well and support the offensive game, but first she has to obviously concentrate on her defensive work. So against Everton, she had a hard time doing so. It's a second match only to play so deep as a defender, and she needs to fight into this game.
They get excited every time the ball comes in to Miedemar and Shaw and Co. What a difference Martin Ho's tenure has made so far. Tottenham didn't win once from the end of January to the end of last season. And although they've done some recruiting in the winter window, they didn't do much last summer. So the same players were made to look very different by a different coach, that is for sure. Great ball.
Oh, those are going to be so important to fill them in every now and then in this game. These diagonal passes open up because Spurs need to shuffle to one side, and these passes can create the space that you need and get Carolyn on the ball in a 1v1 situation on the outside. That's what you want.
Cheap giveaway to Coffey. To Shaw, immediately had 2 for company. Drew Spence important in that number 6 role, and maybe a counter-attack here for Tottenham. Space, and here's Wimberg. Promising here. Well, they'll get a corner, but they might have got more, Ari.
Absolutely. I wish that she would have gone for the shot on goal. I mean, you're already in the box, and the City had the numbers down back there. They were really good in recovering well. So just have a shot on goal on that one and try to finish it for yourself. but really good recovering runs from City. They didn't have the best positioning in the beginning in their build-up game. They didn't have any cover there, but then running backwards, it's really good. And you see why it's so hard to score against this team.
Far post appears to be the target. False start here. That ball's got to go back half an inch. Good looking delivery. Must have skimmed off a Spurs head. I thought it looked like it skimmed off a City head.
Yeah, same here. Keating didn't have the best time in going into that ball, and I think they got lucky here to get the goal kick. Really good effort from Spurs, and that's definitely something where City might be vulnerable with the set pieces. It's hard to score against them out of the game. So that's a chance for Spurs that they must pay a lot of attention to.
Chiara Keating getting a little running goal with Yamashita away, starting for the triumphant Japan. Just her 4th league appearance of the season, Keating. Even though she's still very young, she has been the regular #1 here in seasons before. Nice layoff. Advantage will be played there. Lauren Hemp. Too far for sure, but Kasparai is closing in. And now it's City's turn to have a corner.
That's a perfect run for Kasparai. That's the position she wants to get in. No one has her on side, the fullback, and she's really good and attacking as well with a good run onto the second post in the box, and that shows why she's so dangerous as well.
6 assists this season for Kirsten Kasparai. Alex Greenwood has been on corner duty for years. And that's a great delivery in there. Knark nearly scored, but guess who did? Again, Bunny Shaw, this league's hot shot. And the nemesis of Tottenham Hotspur. That didn't take long. Inside 8 minutes, the champions elect in front. And for the 13th time against Spurs, it is Bunny Shaw.
Yeah, and she was so awake in this moment. She was standing on her toes. Yet again, a really good delivery from Greenwood in this corner. And then Tottenham is not good enough in clearing it. Oh, that actually looks almost offside. Is she intercepting with the goalkeeper? Not so sure, but good finish from Bunny Shaw. She reads the game well. She knows where the ball is coming back down, and then just a nice little shot. Nice goal.
Well, shut out in 2 of their last 3. You did wonder if that might be a problem for Spurs today. The City have started like they mean business. Even when her teammates are trying to tackle her, Bunny Shaw can score goals.
No one's going to take that away from her.
Shut out in 2 of their last 3 games, Manchester City. Having been shut out in 2 of the previous 78 games. They are a goal machine, and it appears to be back in working order, and Shaw's interested again here. Slice off Nilden, should be the keepers, and is.
Really good defensive from City. They don't allow Spurs any time on the ball. They're just right up on their toes, and you could see it actually in their eyes when they were doing the huddle before the match. They were hell awake. They were looking forward to this game, and that's how they started. They're all awake, and they don't want to give Spurs any chance here today.
Well, they have met 12 times in the WSL. City have won 11 of them. The only non-win for City was here back in 2021. Spurs won that one. The reverse fixture early season was 5-1 in Manchester City's favour. Rose. Shaw in the channel again. They can't get out, Tottenham, but they might be able to now because that's a free kick.
But here again, the positioning, once the ball is played deep, you might not win the first ball, but they're already there in a good position for the second ball again, as we see Bonnie's goal here in this replay once again. So I really like the position of Man City. They're there to win the first ball, but also the second balls.
Maybe one or two complaints that Caroline was in the way of the goalkeeper. I don't think it made any difference, really. Might have been the point that Lisa Kopp was making. Lisa Kopp, by the way, has played every minute of this season, and I don't just mean in the WSL, in the Cups too. Every minute of every Spurs game. And here we are, near the end of March. Good going. Caroline poking it through. Molly Bartrip got her head on it. A couple of tough moments last weekend in the defeat to Everton for Molly. A tough 11 minutes for Spurs here already. Manchester City look absolutely up for this, and they are not letting Spurs have any time on the ball.
Yeah, and you mentioned Lisa Kopp. She's really crucial for this backline now, because they're not used to play together like that. Amanda Nildeen normally plays on the wing or as a fullback, not as a centre-back. So the experience of Kopp is crucial with the communication, giving advice to the backline. And maybe even play passes like that. I think that was meant to be in it.
Turned out okay, but England couldn't hold on to it. Sam Coffey has pitched it straight back for Manchester City. Caroline. Down the channel for Shaw again. Nilda's having to do a lot of defending. And she's done it there, and it'll be another corner. They scored from the last one.
City is doing a good job finding Bonnie in the channels, and this is something where Spurs need to be a little bit tighter. It's too easy passes through the midline, and they have to have a better positioning and cover the depths much better, because if they keep allowing these balls to Bonnie Shaw, they got in big trouble.
City skipper again on corner duty. Last one caused panic. That was a pretty good delivery as well. Holt beaten to it by the busy Lauren Hemp, who got there. Just more desire. That's not about talent. She just wanted it more. Deeper from Greenwood this time. Big pack round the back. And Spurs just clinging on at the moment. Can they get out? Olivia Holt. Really good footballer. She's given the time and space to show it. Olivia Holt. Here's Vinberg. England. Now Blackstad. First chance for her to get up the field. Go upset outside her.
Credit to Spurs, it all started from a corner for City, and Spurs, they just didn't want to clear the ball with a long pass, but they tried to cover it. Gobson was really good on the ball, and then they get the number of players forward, and they actually want to play. They have good passing moments, and I think this is the new face of Tottenham Hotspurs that you can see in this season compared to last season.
Definitely more dynamic. And that is a lovely ball from Drew Spence over the top. Big chance here for one each. Big moment, and she's taken it. First chance of the game for Spurs, and it's been buried. And after that completely dominant start, City just put in check. Well taken, Olivia Holt.
What a beautiful timed pass, but also from Olivia Holt, attacking the depths, having the deep runs. Here you see Drew Spence, there's no pressure on the ball, and that's exactly the moment where the City defenders should drop a little bit earlier. Rebecca Knark, she is not the fastest. At first I thought the first touch from Olivia wasn't the best, but she's there, she's using her body right, and that's exactly what you have to do. You won't get a lot of chances against City, but here she's doing with all her calmness on the ball, and this passing and this technique, really great finish.
Such composure there, a perfect pass to begin it. The touches and a confident kind of finish going for inside that near post there. Olivia Holt with her 8th goal of the season, 6 of them in the WSL. Both top scorers on the mark already. That was really, really classily taken. His team weren't in front for long at all.
Yeah, and credit to Martin Ho, right, to change up his starting lineup a little bit more. Drew Spence back in and Olivia Hall on the right wing position, and it's just where she scores.
She got the late consolation, if you can call that, at home to Manchester City earlier this season, the 5-1. The 1 was scored by Holt, so home and away against the champions. That's pretty good going. Here's Kasperite. This was never likely to be 0-0. Never. Kasperite getting on with it, straight into short. City doing tons of attacking. Tottenham set up like any good away team, really. This promises to give us plenty of entertainment, I think, Harry, not least because City will play pretty high, so there is that space in behind. We've seen that Drew Spence can hit that kind of pass.
Absolutely. This game holds everything that we expected from it. Both teams want to play offensively, and it's been entertaining so far.
Another Greenwood corner. Deeper this time. Just like that, she's done it again. How dare you equalise? 2 for Shaw, 2 for City. It's 2-1 already.
Oh, and what a beauty of a goal. I mean, but if you have those 2 top players, Alex Greenwood with the perfect deliveries, and then Bonnie Shaw, she plays with her height, but she is good in the timing, and it's so hard to get up against her. You have 2 or 3 Spurs players actually trying to get up there. Just a little touch on her defender, no foul whatsoever, and good timing, getting into the ball, and it's just beautiful to see. She makes it look easy, but I tell you, it's not.
Well, for all the quality they've got in open play, that will be the disappointment for Martin Ho. His side have conceded from 2 corners. She's on a hat-trick already. She's already scored in her career a hat-trick against Spurs. And that now takes her to 14 goals against Tottenham. And that equals a record for any individual in this league against any other opponent. And it is her teammate, Viv Miedemar, who scored 14 times against Bristol City over the years. Bunny Shaw now has 14 against Spurs. They aren't the only side to be sick of the sight of her, I'm sure. She's got a very long time to get a hat-trick.
Absolutely, but there was a perfect response from City. We're thinking a little bit, okay, how they're going to react after the Arsenal loss, after the disappointing draw against Aston Villa, and it might start getting into their heads like, oh no, not again, we're so close and winning the title this season, and they show nothing but any doubt and just keep on playing what they do good. And as you mentioned, it always helps getting a goal from set pieces.
Carolyn giving Blackstad a problem, and she's quick enough to get there. So quick, the Brazilian. This is the thing, you've got her on one flank, you've got Lauren Hemp on the other, you've got Miedemar in behind Shaw, and that is... it's a frightening foursome, isn't it? Everything covered. Quality, pace, craft, finishing. Not having European football this season, not having European football at any good level of the sport can often be helpful for a title charge. Manchester City have lost 3 games all season in all competitions. Twice to Chelsea in League and League Cup, and then at Arsenal. Carolyn, not again! You are kidding me. Bunny Shaw hat-trick in 20 minutes.
You asked for it. You asked for the hat-trick.
Well, even by her standards, that is rapid fire. She's up to 20 goals for the season already. 18 in the league, and 3 of them here in the first half of the first half. And Tottenham are in big trouble, Harry.
Absolutely, but I mean, look at all this time that Caroline has. I know it's in the box, you don't want to be too actively, but you can't just wait there. That is really not good defending. You have to be closer. There's just get a foot onto the ball, and then the timing yet again. Bonnie Shaw, she smells where the ball might be coming, and she's just this little step ahead of I don't know who was it. Was it against Barclays? It was, and what a beautiful finish again. Yes, 1, 2, and 3. The hat trick is there.
Had a run 2 or 3 years ago where she got 3 hat tricks in 5 games, and one of those was against Spurs, but it wasn't in the first 20 minutes. Wow. It was a tough day at the office for Molly Bartrip and co last week. And it's already been punishing here. Don't make them angry by equalising. Look what happens. It's just full of confidence and providing options left, right and centre. Nice little exchanges, and even winning the 50-50s like that. Here's Hem. They want more. They might get it.
Well, tell you what, I think Lisa Kopp, she didn't actually have to have any saves in this game yet, because all the chances that City had were already clinical finished, and just effectiveness and just unbelievable.
Maybe on that last one there, she got a hand to it. It was a bit central. If we're being picky, perhaps that last one she might have been able to save, but you're right, she hasn't had to make any saves apart from the goals. But well, clinical stuff from Manchester City for sure. And Tottenham stunned. They wouldn't have expected to come here and have anything less than a very difficult day, but 3 already.
Yeah, I mean, the coach talked about that they must be willing to suffer, and so far I think the problem is they're not close enough to their players. They're not actively trying to defend them. They're a little bit too passive for me in the 1v1 situations, and if you want to destroy the game of City, you kind of must hurt them. Not literally, but be there, be active in the 1v1 situation. Get closer, get the body in, and just try to get your foot onto the ball.
And Caroline goes down. She's not asking the question. Bunny Shaw's so far ahead in the scoring charts. She's almost always the top striker in this league. Rachel Daly did pip up once. Sam Coffey into the back of Olivia Holt. Already the atmosphere has actually gone a bit quiet because it's so comfortable for Manchester City. It doesn't feel like the jeopardy is there thanks to her finishing.
Yeah, nice little sunny Saturday, but don't forget about Spurs. They can still come back into this game, and I think it's important for them to keep on playing what they can. For them, it's also a development process, and don't worry too much of the result right now. Just try to get this game that you want to play. You want to have the passes, you want to have the movement of the ball, the combinations, and don't worry about the result as of right now. Worry about the style of play you want to have, and exactly not these easy mistakes. That's too easy of a giveaway.
Yeah, they're good enough without help. You don't need to be passing to them. They've done it again, though. Look out. Lauren Hemp nearly in fight with a very important tackle, and then again off the floor, and they can breathe for a moment, Tottenham. Now, what's wrong with Caroline here? The Brazilian is down. Scrapping away with Bethany England there.
Yeah, really hard to tell. She holds her knee, but it might have just been that she was falling onto it, so a little knock there, and hopefully it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, she had a little purple patch of scoring a couple of months ago. Scored 5 times in 3 weeks in the new year, including that hat-trick here against Chelsea, which was when, well, they, most importantly, and everybody else knew what was coming. Debut title for Andre Jeglitz. He will not be the first coach to come and win the WSL in his first season in charge. It's happened twice before. Laura Harvey did it with Arsenal in the very first WSL season, and then last year, Sonia Bonpastor.
I think he will be more than happy with his side so far. They've been clinical with their chances. They recovered. I think he's going to be not so amused about the goal against, but the reaction that his players showed. I think this is something he can be really happy about. And they aggressively attacking Spurs, trying to intercept their passing combination game. And yeah, they're hell awake and doing a good game so far.
Got plenty on the bench even without their Asia Cup players, including that 16-year-old there, Rachel Adedini, for whom it would be a debut today. Here's Blakstad. Good tackle from Blinkilde Brown. Miedemar, followed by Spence. City can just calm it down again. For now, at least, it looks as if Caroline is okay. That's good news.
Yeah, City is controlling this game. They slow it down a little bit, but then they also pick those moments when they put up the speed again with a little dribbling, with a channeling pass again, and once the ball is in the front line, this is when they really explode.
They'd like Tottenham to come onto them a bit more, but Tottenham aren't that foolish. Let's see how Caroline's moving after that injury and treatment. That didn't look good.
Nah, not so happy.
Decent enough form before the slightly silly kind of defeat to Everton last time out. They generally reacted really well. That's a sign of a team that likes its coach for sure. They won 4 times out of 5 following defeat in the WSL this season. That tells you a lot, I think. But be a big ask today, especially now as Holt crosses, and a rare touch of the gloves, maybe the first touch of the gloves for Chiara Keating. 29 minutes in.
Yeah, they caught Alex Greenwood in her back. She was running forward and she didn't have an eye on her opponent, and that's the moment when she got caught. But well played from Keating, getting out there in this cross, getting into the ball, getting a touch on it. That also helps with her confidence for that game.
Another good tackle from Blinkilde Brown. Highly rated young player at Aston Villa, Laura Blinkilde Brown, and came to Manchester City basically when Jill Roord got a really bad injury. And she's had to wait, but this season she's become a regular in that midfield. So Martin Ho doesn't look happy.
No, and I totally understand that. Like, I've mentioned it before, like, they have the structure with Spurs, but then they're getting too passive once the ball gets into this dangerous area. This is where they're too late. Also, this running, like, you're not in a position where you can actually attack the ball. You have to pick your moments wisely, but then you have to get into this situations, 1v1. Let Lauren Hemp feel your body. Yeah, this is a good touch, you know. You need to smell them and feel them, and they have to get so much closer against their opponents.
Milden with the first header out. That's brilliant from Galpset. Charging through, there's a ball on here to England. There's also a ball out to Katinka Tamberg, who has barely had a touch in the opening half hour of this game. May she didn't go left there to England, the captain. Clipped into Drew Spence here. Well, that would have been some finish, dropping over the shoulder like that, but it's half a chance.
Oh, absolutely, and I think Galpset picked the wrong decision to play to the right. I think she had a great dribbling, but then wrong decision making. But you have the numbers of players in there. There's actually 5 Spurs players in the box, and a really good run from Drew Spence. And of course, it was always going to be a risky touch, but if she hits the ball really well, there's a great chance for her to score in this situation. And there've already been a few moments where City got caught off guard, like where they're not recovering well enough, they're not close enough to the players in the box, and they have to be more aggressive in these situations.
Well, this can happen to good footballing teams who play high and have generally more possession than their opponents. Quite often be able to be caught like that. Nobody there for the Rose pass. Quickly onto it in midfield there, Sam Coffey onto that 50-50. And here's Lauren Hemp running at Hannah Vijk. Miedema! Well, Lisa Kopp was not getting that. If that had been on target, that was 4-1.
Oh, that smelled like another goal. Once again, it wasn't really good long ball, but I've already mentioned it before, the positioning from Man City, they win every second ball. And this was really close and narrow. Miedema, so far, we haven't seen her that much in the game, but that's the dangerous player she is. You don't see her that often, but in the moments, she's there and normally utilizes out of them.
Former gunner. Shaw. Hemp. Trying to find some room for the shot. It wasn't really there, so she gives it to Coffey instead. And again, it's a whisker away from 4-1.
Well, this game is great if you love offensive play. From a defender perspective, I go like, this is really not good enough. Once again, you're in the box, get closer to your players, pick them up, don't be so passive. Like, you have to get your foot onto the ball, put them pressure onto it. But yet again, a really nice chance from Manchester City, and especially for Sam Coffey, normally more defensive midfielder. But she gets into the box, and you can see her shooting skills as well.
Well, they all want to go. You know you've got problems when even she's joining the attack, because they've got plenty of them up as it is. Now, here comes Spurs again. Holt. What an entertaining 34 minutes, but as Ari says, not one for the defensive purists. There's not been much of that going on at all. Hasn't yet scored for Manchester City, Sam Coffey. Not been here very long, of course. Just in the winter window from Portland. Generally, Hasegawa, who never misses matches, is starting ahead of her in that role. There she is again, back to Knark. Her achievements with Manchester City making news in Germany.
Oh, absolutely. And her change going from Rosengard to Manchester City, that's actually the moment when she got called up for the national team. She has been the youth teams before, but I think for her, moving to Manchester was the best decision to make. She's set by herself, she's grown as a player, and you can tell it in her game. And yeah, a few minor injuries, but I think we haven't actually seen the very best of her yet.
new partner this season with the Canadian Jade Rose. And another potential Spurs counter is quickly halted, and here is the destroyer of Tottenham so far. Good scrapping from Beth England, who really would have wanted that ball from the last Galpsat run. Here goes Galpsat again, all on her own here, surrounded by pale blue. But what a good carry. Here is England, who's never shy in shooting. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that's already the second time that Galpsat can actually run the whole length of the field, or half field, and with dribbling. You need to cover a little bit better, put pressure on her. She's got too much space, and we all know, not only since the last Euros, what she's capable of doing when she gets the space. And she's always best when she can pick up the space, the pace, and get closer to a goal. And yeah, just wrong decision makings in the last second, but she's still so young, so she will get there.
I was reading earlier, since she joined, no one in the whole WSL has had more shots than Signe Galpsat. Came from Brann, the Norwegian club where Martin Ho used to be coach, so obviously connection there. Ball in towards Shaw again, good strength and hold up, and also some good defending. It's quickly coming back at them though. Hemp, Greenwood outsider, queuing up in the middle. Look how many pale blue shirts are in there. Lauren Hemp into the crowd, Caroline into the net, 4-1.
Wow, wow, wow. But I tell you what, if you would have placed cones into that box, they would be defending the same as Spurs is doing as of right now. Once again, so passively, they're just running with their players. They're not man-marking good enough. They're not closer to the players. And it's beautiful to see what City is playing out of it, but this is just not good enough defending for this league. Unbelievable.
Well, they are missing a few, and I'm afraid it's showing here. But Shaw's hold-up play began it. It looked like Spurs had won it back here, but no. They were calling for a handball there. But even so, this needed defending better. Just look how many bodies they've got forward here.
Yeah, that's why I say they have the numbers, but they're not going to the place. And yeah, and I think it was Amanda Nildin who was really frustrated with that one. And just the open space here is... yeah, so beautiful to see. Of course, it's always hard to get the ball off Bonnie Shaw because she's so good with covering with her ball. But you mentioned it. We got the numbers of players in the box, but no one is talking enough. Like, you have to man-mark, get closer to them. It's just too easy.
Some lovely passes in there. The long one from Miedemar that started it, and then in again there at the end, her and Greenwood and Hemp. Well, Caroline, we thought she might not be... able to continue a few minutes ago. Well, not only has she done that, she has now scored her 8th WSL goal of the season. Wow, we've still got 7 minutes and stoppage time until half-time. We've already beaten Spurs 5-1 this season, and Tottenham fans will be fearful that this could get very messy.
Yeah, City is always finding the pockets where to play the ball, and finding like Bonnie Shaw is there, who's always available to play Kaspari with a good run, and it's just so good to see Manchester City. They pick the moments when they play deep, but they always find those channel passes, and it's really, I like to see it.
Well, all the goals they haven't scored in the last few weeks have been coming out against Spurs here. Some incredible numbers throughout this season. Miedemar at the heart of that goal. Now, this was the second time she was involved in it, and that was why Olivia Holt was screaming for handball. And you can understand why that might have been given on another day. Quite easily that could have been given, but there was plenty after that that Tottenham didn't do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it was good that Miedemar was there. Yeah, I think she couldn't have complained if it was cold, but you said it. That was not the reason they conceded that goal.
Be desperate to get into that dressing room. Dare I say it, might even be desperate to get back on the bus. overall this season, and we must bear in mind they are nowhere near full strength in terms of their options back there. Their defence has been much, much better this term. It's a Tottenham team that kept 2 clean sheets in the whole of last season in the WSL. This is not a place to come if you want a clean sheet, even if you are at full strength. Claire Hunt on the bench for the Australians in the Asia Cup final earlier today. And Tuko Koga starting for Japan. Hamano, Hasegawa, Yamashita. Both coaches missing a few, but he's got more in reserve, that is for sure. Managing to do what Gareth Taylor couldn't do in his 5 seasons. Gareth Taylor, good-looking side, won domestic cups. Kept on finishing just outside the glory positions in this. Well, she hasn't scored for 20 minutes. I don't know what she's doing.
That's disappointing now, isn't it? Think about a substitution now for the second half.
She hooked that one in. That's a great header. And the third, the one I think maybe Lisa Kopp could have done more with. It's a bit more central, but it did have power, didn't it? It really did have power.
Absolutely. Like, she has such a good timing. And, you know, a lot of strikers, they wait for the ball to get to you, but she's always actively going into it. And those headers, I mentioned it before, she makes it look easy, but it demands a good technique, it demands a good timing, and, yeah, she's shown us wonderfully how it's done.
Blackstad momentarily thought she had a bit of space, but Carolyn has raced back to get in there, so I think whatever was bothering the Brazilian isn't bothering her anymore. Helped by having got herself on the score sheet. Back helping out the defence there, but that was a little bit sloppy as Galp said. She's going to pull the trigger here. And that was very close. I'm not sure if Keating at full stretch would have got it had it been on target. Didn't quite get hold of it, but it still nearly crept in.
And that's kind of a typical Gopset situation again. She's there trying to win the ball back. She's got some space. And if she's got this second to have a shot on goal, she's there, just misses the frame. I think Keaton was there. Think could have saved it for a corner. But yet again, whenever there's danger from the Spurs right now, the last 15-20 minutes, it's through Gopset.
Very much so. Foul on short from Nilden.
Yeah, but that's good. I want to see that more from Spurs now, especially coming into the second half. Yeah, be a bit more aggressive. I don't say you need to play unfair, but you have to get your body more onto the ball. Make City feel that you are there and try to attack a little bit earlier. And yeah, give this energy and emotions more into that.
Plenty of energy and emotion from the Spurs coach on the bench for sure. Liverpool-born, an Everton youth team player himself once upon a time, Martin Ho. Shaw slipping it through. Molly Bartrick with a well-timed challenge as Lauren Hemp tried to steal in, coming from left to right. Blinkilder-Brown. It'll be interesting to see next season when they've got the Champions League to cope with that. Kasparai on the run here, in behind Vinberg. And that's a really good cross. Buddy Shaw nearly had another header, but it doesn't matter because it's gone in anyway. Viv Miedema, who barely even celebrates. And as we approach half-time, it is already the scoreline when last these two met. Manchester City 5, Tottenham 1. This is an absolute thrashing.
Absolutely. I wonder why she's not celebrating. I don't know if they both got a little knock on there, but beautiful, beautiful timing with the cross again. And yeah, I mean, Bonnie Shaw tries to get to the ball. Looks like as if the defender got deflected. Ah, that's why.
That's not going to be Miedemar's, is it? That's going to go down as a 0-0 own goal. Yeah, that is why.
Ah, that's
Viv
why.
Miedemar put one off target there. There's your first headline. And when it's going against you, it's really going against you. But I tell you what, the move before it, the run from Kasparai, the ball to find her, and the Kasparai cross, they were excellent, both of them.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned before. Like, they keep on finding those channel passes, and they have the great timing to it. And then you have players like Miedemar and Bonnie Shaw in the middle of the box as target players for the crosses to get into. It's always hard to defend once the cross is played. It is really difficult to go in there. And
ouch.
Yeah.
Molly Bartrip has been landed on there. Bunny Shaw knew straight away. Absolutely nothing intentional, but she has come down with one, maybe two sets of studs from a height onto Molly Bartrip there. Viv Miedemar is generally fairly laid back anyway. And when you've scored as many goals as she has, I suppose you probably don't celebrate the own goals quite so much, but they need this chat. 4 goals down with a half still to play.
Yeah, it's absolutely hard for them that round. And you mentioned it before, like if you get unlucky, you get really, really unlucky. And now even maybe a possible player down, that would be a really hard one.
She's the only centre-half in this squad today, Molly Bartrip, the only one who really is in that position. And it's a beautiful sunny day, but it is raining hard on Martin Ho.
Absolutely. It's really extreme to see the lack of centre defenders they have, and of course it's always going to be challenging if you play in a new position, but I've mentioned it before, the basics are always there, and it doesn't matter which position you're playing in. The basics as the 1v1 situations, the timing, the aggressively attacking, that doesn't matter which position you're on the field. And I really just hope that she can continue to play. With her being out, that would be even bigger problem. It was so unfortunate that Bonnie, like, jumping onto her, that is painful, unbelievable. If she will recover from that, wow, then good job. Yikes.
That is a crunch. That's certainly going to be a very bruised back. You hope it's just bruising. I'm not making light of bruising, but as opposed to anything bone-related. But yeah, definitely an Amanda Nilden own goal. She'd have been absolutely thrilled, I'm sure, to be playing at centre-back today away at Manchester City. Well, now she's filling in, and her partner, who has been a real long server in this league and is tough as anything, I'm sure will give it everything to keep going. Now she smiles, Miedemar, the former gunner, against Tottenham. Maybe the best signing there's ever been, I think, as a free transfer from Arsenal to pick up Vivianne Miedemar for not even any money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely, that's something that you would take. And I mean, it's okay that Manchester City is up 5-1. Oh, it's good to see her walk again, and I hope she can continue playing. But this result does not reflect the game, I would like to say. I think Tottenham is better than these 5 goals against them. They've done some easy mistakes, yes, but they have not been outplayed. And yes, Manchester City have the most of the game, but it's not as if they're dominating that much that Spurs doesn't have a chance at all. So it's a really harsh result at that time.
Yes, they probably had about 8 good attacks. And normally if you have 8 good attacks in a game, you wouldn't expect to score 5 times, but they have. We talk about the scars from heavy defeats. I think Molly Bartrip might actually have some physical scars from that. Bunny Shaw knew straight away that she'd landed with everything on top of her with those studs there. Here's Wimberg. They could do with getting in at half-time very soon here, Spurs, in case anything else happens. That's a good take from England. Been a top player for a long time. Risky from Galpsert, but just about gets over there to Hanna Wijk, one of the big Swedish contingent at Tottenham Hotspur. Great first season in charge for the Swede, Andre Jäglitz of Manchester City. Oh, Lisa Kopp! Oh. You lucky lady.
Wow!
Not at 5-1 down. Not with her around.
No, to her fairness, like, she didn't have any options on the right-hand side. There was not a player who would actually show her butt in this situation.
You've always got an option to boot it.
Exactly. you boost it, and there was. Well, I know goalkeepers. They like to play risky. Like, talking about self-confidence, eh?
Well, she might have more work to do here. The cut back from Caroline. Little shimmy in field. Miedemar not calling for a penalty, but she's so low-key, she probably never would. And only the fans really were. Well, let's have another look here.
Yeah, I think she thought she's got the number 10 on her back and not just the 1. But I tell you, if it goes well, all credits to her.
Here comes the hard-running Gope set again. That's good again. Knark is trying to stick with her. Vinberg. And that's a foul. Keating up to Miedemar. Miedemar onto Shaw, and Shaw onto Caroline. Look at Miedemar through the middle. Bunny Shaw. A whisker away from 6, right on half-time.
I think if she hadn't scored the hat-trick before, she would have gone for herself. Now she wanted to be selfless, and she wanted to lay it up to Miedemar. But this is the moment. Yeah, Tottenham decides to go, we attack early, and that's the danger when you play a team like City. And we see it here again. I think she should have gone for the shot, because the moment that she could have passed the ball was over. I know it was a tough angle to go, but yeah, be a little bit more selfless in this situation.
I agree 100%. She goes for goal there if she hasn't already got the match ball coming home with her. Caroline, it's a heck of a counter though from City. One ball up, flick on, flick on. So dangerous though, just so dangerous. And still we go on because of all that added time for the Molly Bartrip injury.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I really don't mind. This is a really fun game to watch. So give us even more minutes, please. I don't complain.
Beth England coming in with the touch. Hence the corner, which will surely be the last action of this half. There's been a fair bit going on. Started with a couple of Alex Greenwood corners, and they scored from one of them. Near post, and that's a bit of a waste in the end. And it is indeed the last action of a bruising first half in many senses for Tottenham Hotspur, and a bounteous one for the champions in waiting, Manchester City, scoring goals for fun, and you know who has got 3 of them. Bunny Shaw, a hat-trick already, an own goal at the end, and one in the middle for Caroline. It is Man City 5, Tottenham 1 at the break. Are also Man City players, so that tells you everything. Miedemar and Caroline. So 3 of the top 4 scorers in this division wear the pale blue of Manchester City. And Miedemar not quite on the score sheet today, nearly. But the own goal will definitely go the way of Amanda Nilden, otherwise they'd all have been adding to that tally here. Caroline, who has such pace, just held up a little by Gopset, but it hasn't stopped City coming forward with Shaw. And that's an easy catch for Lisa Kopp. Right, so, Harry Hinkst, what are you expecting here?
Yeah, well, it would have been really interesting to be in the Hotspurs locker room. I think the only chance that the coach had, Martin Ho, to tell his team, look, we start as if it were 0-0. We have to forget about the first half, talking about the points that need to be better. The shape in general is good, but they allowed too many channel passes through them, too many easy passes, be more aggressive, get closer to your opponents. And offensively, I think they used their chances rather well, and they had the opportunities. So I think this is what they're going to keep on working and get it tighter when it comes to defense.
Sharp closing down there on Cara Keating. What we didn't really see in the half, and we didn't even see it at the other end from Lisa Kopp, was saves. Just the shots we saw basically went in the back of the net. And one off the post from Sam Coffey.
Those are the games that you hate as a goalkeeper. You get nothing to save, but then you get the balls out of your net. And on the other hand, for Manchester City, for them, it's going to be like, let's not get cocky or arrogant. Let's continue the way we played. They want to demonstrate their home strengths. They want to keep on scoring goals. And it's so much fun playing out there today. You mentioned the weather. It's sunny. As a football player, you want to continue that. The defense line, they don't want to get in another goal, and the offensive players, they all want to get on the score sheet now. So I think they're trying to push for an extra goal in the second half.
Turn from Blinkilde Brown in behind Shaw. England to Katinka Tandberg, getting a few touches here. She had so few of them in the first half. Hannah Vijk up from right back, we didn't see that much either. Drew Spence, some Tottenham possession inside the Manchester City half here. Spence with one gorgeous assist to her name already now. Holt, good football, go set, and that may well have been goal bound, except for Rebecca Knack was in the way.
Yeah, but you can see now when actually Spurs has this, the space, and they're good on combining and really good positioning here. One-touch play, two-touch play. Gobset, yet again, whenever something is coming, getting out of their chances, Gobset is involved. Like, I really like her game so far.
She scored the equaliser last weekend. Gobset, her second Tottenham goal before Spurs went down 2-1 against Everton. Great to see Molly Bartrip is okay. And still on corner duty here. That's not a bad delivery, but guess who's there? So often the centre forward is a spare, and they often win a lot of those headers. England on the volley. It's a good front foot start this from Spurs. Here's Winberg. Holt. Swung in by Winberg. Great ball! Wonderful cross, and you wouldn't want anyone else on the end of it other than Beth England.
And I think she already had more touches in this second half than the whole first half. Her and Tandberg most likely weren't happy with the first half. It was a tough match for them to be, but here in a really good position. She's got the good timing on the ball, just not enough power to put it actually in the back of the net, but way more active than the first 45 minutes have been.
Well, they've spread around the attack pretty well, Spurs. Both Tandberg and Holt are on 6 league goals this season. Had that header gone in for Bethany England, she'd be on 6 as well. Been a prolific scorer for a long time. She's got a lot of medals from her time with Chelsea. PFA Player of the Year. Way back when, 1920. But Chelsea had Frank Kirby and Sam Kerr, and Bethany England wanted to play more. So she moved to Spurs and started scoring a lot of goals with Tottenham instead. Here goes Holt on the march, free kick. This has been a really good 5 minutes from Tottenham here.
Absolutely, and unfortunately the wrong moment for the referee to blow the whistle. I wished she would have waited a little bit longer, because I think Spurs was in a really good positioning on continuing to play that. But it's, yeah, you can tell the mindset they have. They definitely starting by 0 now. They want to show something else in the second half. And City, they have to pull it together better. I mean, don't be surprised that Spurs can actually play football. You need to be closer, you need to be tighter. And well done from Spurs for the last 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Coaches are rarely entirely satisfied, and even though his team are well up here, Andre Yeglets will have seen his side very much put on the back foot at the start of this second half. It's probably not going to change the destination of the points today, but even so, high standards and all that. Here's Molly Bartrip to deliver, and Tottenham have a lot forward. Keating came, didn't quite get there. Don't think she was fouled either. There was a lot of traffic in front of her.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen it in the first half. She's courageous to go out there, and I like that from a goalkeeper. I rather have an active goalkeeper trying to get into those balls, and then, yeah, mistakes can happen, but I much prefer that than the goalkeeper standing on the line, waiting for it, being passive. And that also sets a mark for your players as well. Be courageous, and yeah, but now Manchester train is rolling again.
Caroline, calmly dealt with by Nilden Vijk, who won't be the first full-back to get outpaced by Caroline. She is really quick. From a standing start, the Brazilian, she can fly.
Like as if Spurs are trying to sit a little bit deeper, not as in being passive, but to hold the space closer, to not allow that much space to be closer to the ball, and that suits them better in the second half.
And then if they win it like that, they can go like this. Good again from Gopset into Katinka Tamberg. That wasn't a great pass, but scrapping well. Blackstad has kept the ball with Spurs, and here goes Spence. And that's another good win as well. Blackstad, Holt, drills it. And drilled it in the right area towards that far post, because maybe if you pull it, someone gets a touch. Bethany England was pretty close, but that's another chance. They are much the better side this second half.
Absolutely. I'm not 100% sure, actually, if it was a cross from Holt or a pass, or like trying to have a shot on goal. Really good hit, but yeah, just neither nor. But yeah, just the mentality of Spurs and the way they are playing, and they show us their skill. And I think Martin Ho can be really happy what he's seen from his side. The response being 1-5 down at halftime, it's always a mental challenge, and to get out there in the second half at City on their home ground and to show these minutes of game, it's brilliant to see.
Another good 1-2 there. Gopset and Holt. And Chiara Keating is down. That's a lovely 1-2. Those two are very heavily involved in this. It's the drive of Gopset and the touch of Holt.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Gopset, I think it really helps having the experience through Spence, holding the back of her clear, sitting there, having the defensive shape, and also allowing her all the offensive power. I think it's a good combination with these twos.
And they're in again. And that's a top stop from Chiara Keating. Beth England thought she'd scored there. Her head is in her hands, but the ball is not in the back of the City net. It very nearly was. And they have had 4 or 5 chances in 10 minutes at the start of this second half here.
Yeah, they really deserve that, because the way they play, they're creating the chances, and this is the big difference in this game of right now. Man City had 4 shots on targets and they scored 5 times, and now Spurs had more shots on target, but they were only able to score once out of it.
Good outstretched foot from young Keating. I say young, she's been playing a while, but she started so young. Made her debut in the WSL 4 years ago, Chiara Keating, January 22. She was 17 years old. Game against Aston Villa. You might get that outfield, you don't get that in goal very often, if ever. Shaw got her head on the corner. Well, stick a piece of tape over the scoreline on the top left of your screen and you would think Tottenham are the better team here right now. I think the card might come out for that. Is it going to? Yes, it is. Abby Fern reaching for the pocket for the first time. She travelled a long way, quite some speed here. Hannah Viken has taken out him.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, that's a clear yellow card, nothing more, nothing less. I like, though, that she was trying to stop Ham, and you need to stop them early. And I don't think it was unfair if she was battling for the ball, didn't get it, and lucky enough, Ham didn't get injured and hurt and can continue the game.
Hannah Vike, one of those who arrived mid-season for Spurs, came from Häcken, as so many do. Came with Matilda Nilden, actually, who's also on the bench, younger sister of Amanda. The resources they must have. I know they're off-season in Sweden, obviously, in the winter-time. I feel like every year, Hammarby and Häcken, they get plundered, often by the WSL, just grabbing players left, right and centre.
Absolutely, but that just shows what a good youth program they have. They keep continuing producing these good players, especially the population of Sweden is not the highest, but they have a really good program. And yeah, it suits them well. They have a different season in Sweden, and they also can present themselves in the Champions League or now the Europe League, so other clubs are getting more and more interested in that, and it's a great exception, and especially Spurs, they really like their Scandinavian players. Finland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, they have them all.
Nilden filling in. Well, they'll have some bodies coming back soon enough, Spurs, and they will need it for that tough run. As if this fixture wasn't bad enough. They have got the North London derby away next up, and then they play the FA Cup holders Chelsea at Kings Meadow in the FA Cup quarter-final. That's the 3 toughest away days in a row you could have in the English game. Carolyn forward here to Laura Blinkhilde-Brown. It's misplaced and it's away by Drew Spence. City setting such high standards this term. The opening night, they lost to Chelsea. They then won 16 straight matches. The teams do not win 16 games in a row, however good they are, very often at all.
Yeah, and it's not only the results, the way they play. Most of those wins were absolutely deserved. The style of play they have, the mixture of this short passing combination games, but also mixed up with some long-range balls, always trying the pockets. And then you have the likes of player Lauren Ham, like she's everywhere. Caroline, the type of players that don't stuck to their positioning just on the side of the field, and different variety of players up front. It's just a good mix to see, and I think in this Barclays League this season they're the best team in total.
Right on cue, just as Harry said, they flipped over here. Hemp down the right. Carolyn was playing through the sort of left channel. Flag up against Hemp. She's only scored 1 league goal this season. Obviously he's had well, last year was a bit of a nothing-y year for her. Definitely offside there, correct decision. It's had a nothing-y because of injury, I might add. But, such a good player for such a long time. Changes coming soon for Manchester City with half an hour to play. One very new arrival and one super long serving player. More on them shortly. Given away by Carolyn, who we think is one of the ones who's going to be making way. Late bump by Katinka Tamberg. She can't get involved in a game. A foul's never a bad way to start. She's banged into Rebecca Knack now.
Well, that's definitely not what I meant, that they have to play a little bit more physical, because that's the wrong timing, and fortunately no big injury. Actually, she got a little bit of a hit there by herself. Like, yeah, be smart the way you play your 1v1 situations. But a good handshake.
Those changes are going to be made now. So she gets half an hour's extra rest here, Viv Miedema, for readiness to play her former club Arsenal next weekend. Oh no, that's Tottenham playing them, excuse me, but Caroline as well there, whose goal you're seeing. Making way. So, the long-serving Laura Coombs, who is beloved of these parts, having been around for so long, and somebody that Ari's going to tell us plenty about. Sydney Lohmann, who I remember watching in and around the time she had a really bad injury in the Frauen Bundesliga when she was younger, but a fine player for club and country, Sydney Lohmann.
Oh, absolutely. The player that comes with everything, really technical skills, but also a player who can read the game really well. Versatile, she can play on a 6, she can play on an 8, on the 10, and already here on the ball. She was a little bit unlucky and unfortunate with a lot of small and minor injuries, so she had a tough time getting into that. And I think also she didn't get enough game time at City, as in she was expecting more to get out of there, but it takes time to come from the German league and then play in the Barclays WSL. It's different type of style of play, but definitely a player always enjoyed watching.
Yes, it's only a 12th appearance, all in. Sydney Lohmann. Another great ball for Kasparai. In towards Shaw.
These opening long balls that Knack can play so well. Kaspari knows it exactly. She's already on her front toes. And another good cross. And yeah, it was this time really well defended against Bonnie Shaw to get something on there so that she doesn't get the free header onto the goal.
Raking crossfield ball and a super first touch, wasn't it, from Kasparai? Well defended, Molly Bartrip. Especially, that was the same combination where she got injured, wasn't it? The Kasparai cross in the first half and in towards Bunny Shaw, but Bartrip wasn't on the floor that time. Blackstad coming forward, half an hour to go here. The scoreline as it was at the break. There's a cutback, and there's Sam Coffey in the way. Wimberg. Blinkhilde Brown calmly takes control, and now then there's a sprint on, and Vike has to be careful, having been booked. Bunny Shaw all on her own for now, just waiting for the reinforcements to come, and well, that was a tired touch. Stubbed her toe, I think.
Absolutely, but no one was able to follow Bonnie Shaw when she's trying to attack. And
Hemp.
Yet again, City does what they do good. They're winning the second balls. Coffey with a one, Ham with a not so good right foot to get a shot on target. But yeah, some promising attacks from City now in the second half, and they've been really shy. I think especially centre midfielder Blinkhilde Brown and Coffey, they need to be a little bit more tighter. They're always one step too late. They allow easy passes through them, and also the Spurs midfielders, as in Gobset and Drew Spence, they have too much time on the ball, and they need to be closer there, attack them early, exactly like this moment, to win the midfield over again.
Perfectly illustrated. What good timing. Drew Spence may be one of those making way shortly. Tottenham planning a double change. A very comfortable afternoon for Jade Rose and Rebecca Knapp. Oh, actually, Rose in particular doesn't look flappable at all. New to the league this year, the Canadian. Great touch there, Sydney Lohman, really confident, then makes herself available in space, and look at the green grass in front of her. Now needs a runner, or someone to go wide right, really. She's had to try and thread it through the middle, and Molly Bartrip stops it getting to Bunny Shaw.
Yeah, right now this seems to be a game where we don't have any central midfield at all on both sides. Here really open grass, and Spurs needs to be careful. If they want to attack higher, you need to make sure that your defense line is down there again. Same goes for City.
That was a nice offload, that, from England. Blackstack gets it to Olivia Holt, who's already scored once. Oh, what a shame about the finish. Hannah Vijk there, that looked like somebody who doesn't really know what to do in front of goal because she isn't there very often.
Yeah, that was not convincing. I think she might have been surprised to get that ball in this situation, and I think she was thinking, should I cross or should I actually shoot? And then there was nothing in between. But yet again, really easy drive forward from Spurs through the center of the park, and then they actually got goal-scoring opportunities. I still can't believe they only got one goal here.
Yeah, on genuine quality of chances, if you pause the play when the ball is on the boot of the attacking player, I would say Spurs have had as many good goal-scoring opportunities as Manchester City today, about 6 each. It's just City have put 5 of them in. Amazing. It's a funny old game.
Efficiency.
Well, there you go, 10-10 on shots. Holt. With oh, I'm surprised she didn't pull the trigger there herself a moment ago. But, well, she finished this off brilliantly. It was really well. Off and Olivia Holt, so the combination for that goal making way here. And Evelina Sumanen, who both Ari and I were surprised. There are issues at centre back. You'd think a solid regular central midfielder would be an absolute must. Well, Evelina Sumanen, the Finn, is on, and so too Lena Gunning-Williams there.
Yeah, all credit to Drew Spence, though. I think she had a really good game, not always able to close the gap.
He's put it over.
Yeah, finishing my thought on Drew Spence. I think really good call. And now you got Sunanen in with the experience, and still another player who can open the space for Gobsad, and she's had really good chances here. Just, I think, too much power onto the ball. I think a little bit more technique and putting the ball down. I think it's easier said than done, I know that, but I think she put too much thought on it, like really wanted to smash it in instead of getting more onto technique.
Another good driving run from Lohman, the substitute, making up for lost time. She's still going now in the middle too. Shaw. It might fall the way of Lohman, but first, it's a great run from Sydney Lohman as we go into the final 20 minutes. It's open again, and both sides just creating the odd moment here.
Yeah, great two-touch from Lauren Ham. Just really stop it and then pass it. No, I'm going to go for myself and a position to do so, because Spurs was good in their recovering run in the box. They marked the players, so good decision by Bonnie Shaw to go for the shot herself.
Alex Greenwood with the corner. Blackstad with the header, and it's coming back to Greenwood. Hemp. And again, Lisa Kopp. Commanding her box. Didn't have to come for that. Got good distance with the punch. Good confident goalkeeping. Well, it's quite often, if you get a bit of a blowout in terms of a scoreline at half-time, it can stay that way or very similar to it. You rarely get 3-0 in the first half and 3-0 in the second, if you know what I mean. And here we are. Still 5-1. Coffey. Blackstad sticking to her job, and a job well done by Julie Blackstad against her former club.
Yeah, and to your point, of course we don't have the goals in the second half, but the entertainment level is still there. I mean, also due to the fact that defensively, I think both coaches has a lot to talk about after the game, especially in the center of the park on both sides. But really good opportunities on both ends, and even if the result might stay like this, the second half is not less entertaining than the first half.
Another nearly moment for Sydney Lohman there, is making her appearance count here. This little cameo of hers. Good young player in the title-winning Bayern side from a few years back. And another German international with the challenge there. You can report back as to their progress in the WSL, Harry. Clark and Lohman.
Absolutely, with the next window coming up for the national teams meeting for the Nations League, another matchup, and yeah, she's been a force in the German team right now. It's going to be interesting, the build-up for the next World Cup coming up, for the players to present themselves.
Near post corner, and it's goal set again, making her presence felt. Well, a new arrival, but quickly looks like a really important part of Martin Ho's team, Signe Gobset.
Absolutely. Also for me it was interesting to see, normally I would have expect her to get into this team and be more like of a winger player or really the striker, but actually he made her play as a 6 or a position 8, really from the central position more, coming in there, and I think she's developed well so far. She's only been in England for a couple of weeks, but the style of play suits her really well. I think she would be a contender for the player of the match if there wasn't a Bonnie Shaw on the other side with a hat-trick on that one. So the result of this game doesn't really suit her, but I like what I see from her, and still such a young player and such a bright future. Of course, things for her to learn, but she's still so young and she should just continue to have fun playing football.
On the ball again here. By all accounts, quite a few teams were interested in signing her, so it was a job well done for Spurs to get her. Now, Wimberg followed all the way by Kirsten Kasperai, and the last touch was the Dutch fullback. Title winner in her time, a native Netherlands with SC Twente. There's another team who produce so many good players that move on quite often to the WSL, actually. Almost went out of play. In fact, it did go out of play. That's a sloppy moment. 15 to play, and it is still City 5, Tottenham 1. And City, at least by a goal difference, extending their lead at the top of the table. Not going to do it necessarily via points, though. Not today, because all the other big ones are winning too. Upset again. Past Coffey, and then good skills as well. And Coffey got back. And City have won it back. Blinkilde Brown. Laura Coombs, 35 now. Playing since the very first WSL season, Laura Coombs. That is incredible longevity. Obviously, more often than not, a sub these days. Milden with the challenge. Bunny Shaw in most games will spend a little bit of time on the floor. In fact, it's quite a long time coming today, 76 minutes.
Yeah, of course, the way she plays, the type of player she is, as an opponent playing against her, you need to be physical, you need to pick up moments, and of course it wasn't an unfair tackle or anything, just a little bit unlucky there, and hopefully she will get up soon again and continue to play.
Her first season with City, she scored 9 times, and then she started every week. 20 league goals, 21, 12 last season, down a bit, and 18 and counting. That's just WSL goals, by the way, that's not cups in Europe as well. I remember even before she came, covered a few matches when she was playing for Bordeaux, and she outscored Katoto in France one season for a Bordeaux side that weren't all that, and she got 22 of them. You're seeing some of the work rate here of Sam Coffey. It was, I mean, that's a good level of signing to bring in. I know Yui Hasegawa is just the glue in the middle of Manchester City, but Sam Coffey having come in the winter window, that's a great addition to the squad.
Absolutely, it is. Also the style she plays, like, she's also the open-minded player. Of course, she has a defensive skills and structure, a player who can hold it tight for your team, but also a player who wants to have the ball, right? And that's something that Manchester City wants to do. They want to play out from the back, so you need some options on the center of the park position 6, player who can open up. And we've also seen her, she's got some danger offensively as well, getting into the box. So I think she's a really good addition to this team, and she's only been here for a couple of weeks, and yet again it'll need some time to adapt to the Barclays WSL, because it's a different style to play than what she was used in the US.
That is ambitious from there, and it's a long way off. The other thing you'd say about Coffey, I think maybe, Ari, is well, Manchester City are going to be back playing Champions League as well next season, so all season this year they've been able to go Hasegawa and Blinkhilde-Brown pretty much every game. You need more bodies, you get more tired, and you need more quality to keep competing, right? So now it's Hasegawa and Coffey and Blinkhilde-Brown in there.
Absolutely, all the top teams, you can see that. You need a wide squad if you want to get far in the Champions League, especially with the different competition we have now with the league phase, and you have more high-quality players from the very beginning, so it's more entertaining squad. And this is something that Man City has been working on really well, to get the depth in their squad. Even now players going out to play in the Asian Cup, and still they don't really like any quality drop. They still have a good players on the bench, and there's always going to be the seasons when you have some injuries. Unfortunately, you can't do anything about it. So being in more than one competition and try to compete really for the titles, you need more players than just one Hasegawa or one Sam Coffey. You need so many more.
Speaking of squad depth, a couple of changes coming for Man City, but not before this counter. Lohman driving it again, and Lauren Hemp driving forward too. Standing it up, Hemp towards Kasparai. That was awkward. Vinberg was back with her. Should just tell you also that London City have equalised late on at home to Chelsea. That's a big goal at the top of the table, with United and Arsenal both winning, as well as Man City. There is every chance champions Chelsea aren't even going to get Champions League. We know Manchester City will be back in that, that's for sure. Hemp forward, Alex Greenwood. And it was just too high for Lohman to be able to get it down.
But I tell you what, if she would have scored from this situation, that would have been the perfect summary of the game so far, yeah? Tottenham is doing a really good game. They're doing second half, but they're unable to score. In City, they have a few opportunities. I think good timing from Lohmann, but just the ball's a little bit too high for her, so she's a bit too early there, and she can't put any pressure on that header. But yeah, I stay with my statement. Offensively, it's a joy to watch. From a defensive perspective, there needs to be so much better work to be done.
Iman Bene, the 19-year-old Swiss international. Barai and Leila Wahabi. From Wahabi.
She's doing what she's the pace. She has the speed on the ball, and I think it was a good timing of her passing to the ball. Just not good enough, not close enough the run to actually get the shot on target. But she has a bright future ahead of her as well. Still time to develop, and I think with Martin Ho, the perfect coach to help her in the development as well. A team in Hotspurs that want to play football, that actually can utilize her really well with her strengths, and something she future ahead.
James closing down Knark there as well. 7 minutes and stoppage time to go. Gunning-Williams, low ball, right in between all her teammates. Vinberg into Rose. Danger not cleared yet, should be now.
Yeah, it's funny to say. I mean, we have a 5-1 result so far for Man City, but knowing André Jegletz, I think he will be not happy with the second. That's not the standard that he wants his team to be playing on. I think he's demanding more of his team, giving up too much space and not being clinical enough. I know it's always hard mentally.
As Vinberg helps it on surely here. And they do have one, and they absolutely deserve that. In a weird way, Tottenham Hotspur have created just as much as Manchester City today, especially in this second half. And their captain has got one back late. 5-2. Bethany England wasn't going to miss that.
Yeah, and exactly what we were talking about, that the coach Jegletz is not going to be happy, and really well deserved for Tottenham in the second half, especially Beth England. I think she has been so much more active in the second half and deserved to get that goal down. And yeah, I think that's a better, fairer result now, if we can talk about fair in football.
Not sure it's ever really existed. So we have 3 Tottenham scorers on 6 goals now in the WSL this season. The captain is one of them. Had she been more fit for more time, I'm sure she'd have far more. Bethany England, one of this division's best ever goal scorers over the years. It is going to be 9 defeats in a row against Man City for Tottenham, though. Schuman's tackle on Lohmann, and again, going for it, those two.
I mean, I know it sounds weird from a German, like complimenting a German on the pitch, but I really think that Lohmann did have an impact for this City side in the second half.
100%.
Really active, like winning the balls, driving it forward and pushing up. I think really good substitute for them.
Well, if you've watched this match or you see its highlights, you'll get the true picture of it. Just seeing a scoreline of 5-2 with a Bunny Shaw hat-trick in 20 minutes, you'll think Tottenham have been absolutely smashed here, but it really hasn't been the case. And sometimes you listen to coaches after games when they say there's lots of positives we can take, and you think, really? But actually, Martin Ho, I think, genuinely can today. There's been a lot of things they've done really well. They've just been caught cold on 3 or 4 of those goals.
Absolutely, and let's not forget, he's lacking a lot of centre-backs in his team, so basically Amanda Nildin, who's actually a fullback, had to get into that position, into that role, and therefore all these circumstances, I think they've done a good job. Some really easy individual mistakes, that's also something to mention.
Here's Lauren Hemp, tight angle, and actually pulled quite a long way wide in the end. Her 6 goals this season is a little bit down, but only 1 of them, incredibly, in the WSL, the rest in the cup comps. Obviously, more about the goals she makes than the goals she scores, but usually her numbers are very good in both.
Yeah, but that just shows the quality of this Manchester City side. There's so many people who can actually score. There's so many quality players, and it's a good sign that you don't always have to rely on one player to actually score. And she's also good in creating these chances and setting up the goals. So still a really valuable player, and we can't just measure her by the goals of scoring, right?
No, certainly not. Such a top player for club and country for a long time now. Forward by Tandberg to England. Great strength. Well, Toko Koga and Claire Hunt should be back in the fold for Tottenham just in time for the trip to Arsenal next weekend. A goal-scoring midfield option in Maika Hamano too, who, if you haven't heard the news, settled the Asia Cup final for Japan in a 1-0 win over Australia. Here's Vinberg off Coombs. Tottenham corner as we approach the final minute of the 90. Molly Bartrip met at the near post by Blinkilda Brown. Here's Gunning Williams. Misplaced touch for once from Gobset, but she's still scrapping away there. Well, Liverpool did sneak into the top 4 a couple of years back now. Generally speaking, it is very difficult to break into it. I would say for sure Tottenham look the best equipped to do so if someone's going to have a go at it next term. It'll be too late for this season, but they've got a lot of good things going on about them for sure. 4 added minutes. Here's Leila Wahabi into Lohmann. Good cross into Bunny Shaw, and again, well defended. Suman and a tractor there.
And think that's the best situation you can have. Like, it's hard to isolate Bonnechaud in the box situation. If you can manage to get two players on her, trying to disturb her whilst getting onto the ball and just make her feel it, that hires the chances of you winning the ball, or at least not have her scoring.
She could stop now, and she'll be winning the Golden Boot this season, Bonnechaud. So far ahead is she, but she's in the middle again. Mbene here, laying it back for Blinkilde Brown. Pass was intended for Wahabi and cut out. But you're seeing that City squad depth, actually. You know, they've got, what is it, 5 away still, Asia Cup duty. And the players they brought on here, Mbene, a real young star in the making. Coombs, great experience. Sydney Lohman, Layla Wahabi. I don't think you need me to tell you who's won the Player of the Match award here.
There shouldn't be any surprises, and absolutely deserved. Unbelievable finishes in the first half. Yeah, one can argue, yeah, she was shy in the second half. No, she was not. Spurs was just defending better, not allowing that much, but she always stays the danger in this game.
Layla Wahabi into Bartrip. Layla again, back for Laura Coombs. There'd be no more popular scorer here than her. Just announced when her Player of the Match status was announced that it's the quickest hat-trick ever in the WSL, that for Bonnechaud. 1-2-3, as she told us, in 20 minutes. Although 20 minutes into the game, but for her, what was it, 13, I think?
And all of these goals, they weren't gifts, right? So she really had to go for that. And they weren't easy finishes. She made it look easy, but it's really great, like her technique going actively into these balls. And yes, I like those counts and goal celebrations.
Absolutely. 13-minute treble. Eight points needed. Realistically, it's actually going to be 7 points would be needed for Man City, because that would mean technically Arsenal could finish level with them if they won all their games, but such is their goal difference. Effectively 7 more points would do it. And that's if Arsenal are perfect from here on in. Arsenal have got a fair bit going on. Five competitions of play, of course, for the Gunners this term, with the Champions Cup. Extra time victory over Corinthians, so the European champions are now also the world champs. Right at the end of stoppage time, the Tottenham free kick. I feel like 5-3 might be slightly more representative, in fairness. Bartrip hoists it in there. And Beth England is in there again. Hammered by Nilden, and it didn't quite sit for Gopset as the final whistle goes. One step closer. Andre Yeglets and co. Totally in charge within 20 minutes, thanks to a 13-minute record hat-trick from Bonnechaud. They were efficient with their finishing. Tottenham were better than that scoreline would suggest. 5-2, the final score at the Joy Stadium.
If it was your first time here at the Joy Stadium today, watching Manchester City, thank you for your support, for supporting the team, and welcome to our Big Blue family. We'll see you here for our last home WSL game this season against Liverpool. It's nearly sold out, but there are a few tickets left, so act fast. You want to be here for our last home game of the season and to cheer on the Blues. Until then, take care, have a safe trip home, a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back at the home Blues very soon.
Yet another ball to take home. She's going to need an extension at this rate. Bonnechaud not for the first time, scoring a hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur. But look at that, Spurs had more shots and more shots on target as well. Not often you'll see a team get 4 clear-cut chances and score 5 goals, but that's what Man City did, all of them in extraordinary first half. 5-1 City when they met at Tottenham early season, when they actually were miles better there. The Eglets had just taken charge. It was a little bit closer than that today, but let's have a little quick reprise of the main moments. And this was 1-0. Harry.
Yeah, it started off a set piece, and Bonnie Shaw with a nice little twist of her body, just in the right positioning, and it was the first of the 3 ones. Probably not the easiest to score, and she just continued doing though. But first we had Spurs.
Great ball from Drew Spence, perfect weight, and a few touches. It could easily have gone wrong. She kept it nice and neatly and finished it nice and neatly. Olivia Holt for 1-1.
Yeah, they utilised from the really high line of Manchester City. Drew Spence has all the time on the ball. They don't drop the defence line, and then the first touch of Olivia Holt was so crucial and really clinical finish.
Another Greenwood corner and another Bunny Shaw goal.
And it's so unbelievable hard to defend her. She has a good positioning. It's once again a really good serve from Greenwood, but this just little touch from Bunny Shaw allows her this 1/2 meter that she needs of space, and good header from her.
A little bit more space here. Carolyn clipping in the infield cross, and Shaw got in ahead of Molly Bartrip, and this was torrid stuff at the time for Spurs. That's a 13-minute WSL record hat-trick, 20 minutes in, 3-0 down, or 3-1 down, sorry.
Yeah, really good technique from Caroline, a clinical finish, and they can't just finish out of crosses, but they can also combine. And we have Sam Coffey here in the box. We talked about her, more like the defensive player in the midfield, holding mid, but here with a really good finish. And there was the 1 goal that was off target in the first half.
Manchester City been blanked in 2 of the last 3. Such a rare thing for them, but they were making up for it with the finishing today. There was a great move that ended up with Lauren Hemp cutting it back for Caroline, who scored her 9th in all competitions this season and her 8th in the league.
Yeah, she was there with an assist, and now with a clinical finish by herself, good positioning and easy finish for her to get it in the back of the net.
And then this, it was a lovely move, a super cross from Kasparai, the header from Miedemar. Bunny Shaw landed very heavily on Molly Bartrip, and the Miedemar header was actually going off target, and this will show you that. In off Amanda Nilden for 5 at the break.
Yeah, that's unfortunately a short clip of the video, but it was really well played. But Tottenham came out in the second half. They were the better team in the second half, in my opinion, especially with England, with a better game, and here with a really good finish, and then Keaton just was there when she needed to be.
Yeah, that was a great save, but England did get a goal eventually, and that was it, teed up by Vinberg. And, yeah, Spurs won the second half. That's all they could do, being 5-1 down at half-time, I suppose. So 5-2, the final score. Bunny Shaw up to 18 league goals this season. That is twice as many as Kirsty Hansen of Aston Villa, who is next best. City edging that little bit closer. Tottenham's horrible looking run take them to North London rivals Arsenal next Saturday, and then hold us Chelsea in the FA Cup away again. Man United, so they'll have a fairly big say in who does and who doesn't qualify for Europe this season. I think we know that Manchester City are, and they're about to stronger when their players come back, Harry, from the Asia Cup. That makes them an even tougher proposition. Well,
absolutely, though. It's so unbelievable hard when you come from the Asian Cup. Such a big tournament with all the highs, the emotional highs, and then getting back into the league phase. Players definitely will need some time to adapt as well. But overall, the squad they have, the depth that they have, the quality that they have, like, who should stop them?
Yes, and I guess a little bit easier to do it when you know that you've got medals coming, more medals coming, because of course so many of the Manchester City players part of that Japanese squad. Victorious earlier today, thanks to a Tottenham loanee goal in Micah Hamano, who'll be joining these Spurs players next time, and good timing too. But, they're going to be running into an Arsenal side who are in good form. Arsenal have scored 5 times today. But, what the first season in charge for Andre Yeglitz. Seems to be quite calm and measured and not the shouty kind of coach, or maybe he is, I don't know. Do you know any different?
No, I can't tell you, to be honest. I don't have this inside information, and yeah, I think it's a strange game for him as well today. I think there are a lot of things he can be happy and satisfied with, especially when we're talking about efficiency and having a Bonnie Shaw with the hat-trick for today. On the other hand, there are also some things that Manchester City should have done better today, and at the end of the day, you win 5-2. It's hard to criticize, and we don't always have to search for the negative. Internally, they will talk about the mistakes they've done, but a very deserved win. I think the result is just a little bit too high.
Well, that is the result. 5-2. Arsenal built slowly and accelerated. They got more of their goals in the second half than the first. 5-0 winners at home to West Ham. London City, well, they were behind for a long time at home to the still just about reigning champions Chelsea, but they equalised late and they got themselves a point. A good point for London City there. And Manchester United, another twitchy one, another 1-goal win, but they've done the job. 2-1 the final score there against Everton, with Brighton against Liverpool tomorrow, the early kick-off, and the later one down at the wrong end of the table, Leicester City up against Aston Villa. Right, let's hear from the record-breaking hat-trick hero, Bunny Shaw.
So, Bunny, fastest hat-trick in WSL history for yourself today. Your team was clinical.
Yeah, overall a good performance from the team. We wanted to have a fast start, and you could tell from minute 1 we were at it, and yeah, we just spoke about it before the game, and we know that we just have to keep going, keep working hard, and when we get the goals, just keep going at it, and more will come.
That's 11 games that you've won here at home. You've equalled your own record. What's the manager saying to you before the game?
Yeah, go out and express yourself, have fun with players that we have. We thrive off that, and yeah, he just give us the confidence and, you know, give us all the encouragement to go out and perform.
That's an 8-point lead at the top now. Are you thinking about that title?
I think for us, you know what, we know 4 games to go. Next week is another big one, so we have to rest, recover, go again, and just take it game by game. That's what we've always been doing from the first game, and it doesn't stop here.
Bunny, congratulations, you are the Barclays Player of the Match.
Thank you.
Well, never any doubt about that. Yet more history for somebody who scores goals for fun. So here's their lead at the top. 8 clear of Manchester United. Arsenal do have the 2 games in hand, though, so if anyone is going to catch them, it would be the Gunners, but that is a very, very big ask, and they have a lot going on as well. Leicester still at the bottom, and might get away with it this year because of the expansion of the division. Tottenham stay 5th, and they'll be staying 5th whatever happens this season, I think. Well, that was a very entertaining afternoon here at the Joy Stadium. Manchester City played 11, won 11 at home. That's perfect. They've got 4 more games to get 8 more points to absolutely guarantee the title. And to be honest, they're probably not even going to need that. From Ben Andrews and Ari Hengst, thanks for joining us, and goodbye.